Situations Podcast. You know we're going to talk about it.
Long-winded. Situations Podcast. You know we're going to talk about it.
Welcome to the Situations Podcast, everyone. We are GenX, 3 perspectives, 1 generation, endless situations. To my co-hosts, Frank, J. Frank, and Kim Joe. How are we feeling tonight?
Feeling good. Let's do it. Let's jump in.
Good. I'm always good when I'm here with the ladies.
Okay, we love the Gen X laid back kind of energy. All right, so first up, how was everybody's week so far?
I'm ready for it to be over.
It's Thursday, so you don't have your wait. Your wait is short at this point. Mm-hmm. It's been a long one.
It's Friday Eve. Yes,
it is. Or also known as. Never mind. I wasn't gonna add nothing to that. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, Jay, what you got, sir? How we feeling? How's your week been?
I feel like it's gonna be Monday again. It's like it goes by so fast. Like the week flies. I swear to God. Ever since I got to 50 years old, it flies. To me, Wednesday is the end of the week. I just got to make it to Friday. I have 2 hours off, and then it's Monday. So that's it.
So you're saying each hour represents both days of the weekend?
Yeah, that's it. That's basically it. That go by like this. That's interesting. Is it me or tell me am I wrong? I feel like about 4 o'clock on a Saturday, the day's over.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Because Sunday is like you blink too long, you're gonna miss it. It'll be Monday morning. You absolutely
right. So I mean, for me, but other than that, it's been great. It's just going by fast. So here we are.
Okay. I will say this. I think earlier this week, I thought to myself, and by early, I mean like Tuesday this week, I was like, I can't believe I have to go in 3 days, go into the office next week, 3 days. Like we have these toggling telework to work, office work situations. So I'm already ruminating about the fact that I have to go in extra days next week. All right. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get into it. Okay. So I saw a clip of Josh Johnson. I'm not sure if you all are familiar with this comedian. No? Okay. So young comedian. He's on, I think, the Daily Show. Great guy. I mean, he's like, all of his comedy is based on what is happening now. Okay. And this clip, he talked about some of the things that Mom Downey has accomplished. And there were a couple things that just stood out for me. The first being that he actually closed a $12 billion deficit. And we're talking about Mayor Mondani in New York, right? I don't even know if maybe he's in his first 100 days. I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I thought that was very interesting. He also secured $34 million on behalf of tenants identified as they're getting penalized by over 195,000, landlord violations. And he secured over $9 million in restitution for workers and small businesses. So I just thought that was pretty impressive when you think about like the national budget and how it just continues to go up. It makes me wonder if closing out a $12 billion budget is not as complicated, or just budgets in general, right, is not as complicated as they would have us believe. What do you think?
Me not being a numbers person per se, I can only speculate that it's not as hard as our current a resident in the White House makes it out to be. You have to also note in it that I thought was, and it's probably only because I just became a grandma 9 months ago, that he also secured it so that pretty much people don't have to pay for childcare from infant to was it pre-K or something like that?
I think so, which is just amazing.
Phenomenal, because it's expensive from what I hear. So
And I think that was Josh's joke was right. He's like, it makes you think, basically what we're just talking about, that maybe it's not as complicated, based on how he's moving. Like maybe you just need to care enough, right?
right.
That was the running joke in his skit. Jay Frank.
Yeah, so whenever I watch the Daily Show with Josh Johnson, and I am a fan of him, I fact checked him on a lot of things. So Madonna hasn't done that. He ain't been in office long enough to do it.
Hmm.
So based on reporting from early 2026, Madonna's administration said it reduced or eliminated a project multi-billion-dollar budget deficit through a combination of savings, reserves, state assistance, and other budget measures. Reuters reported that Madonna stated that the city had already reduced its stuff by a $12 billion deficit before proposing additional tax changes. However, even the sources repeating the closed 12 billion deficit claim note that New York City still carries tens of billions of dollars in long-term debt. One source cited that the city debt was at roughly 96 billion. That's a lot.
That is
Yeah.
it a lot though? Like relative to the country?
You said relative to.
Can you compare
Hey,
anything
listen,
to the country's
Right, like
budget? Because
right.
is
We're
there a
talking about
budget?
the national debt, right?
Yes. Debt.
It's like,
Edit that
let's
part
just
out.
all
move
right.
on. What's the next subject? That's how much we know about that right there.
Yep,
Because
I don't know.
again, to me, New York, California, they got some of the biggest economies in the country. But California, compared to New York, California is doing better than New York. They got a lot of fixing over there that they need to do, and a lot of it actually just comes from, I want to say, civil justice or social justice type issues that they was dealing with in New York. And they need to fix those things. I mean, I'm gonna just leave it at that. We're gonna come back to that one later on in a
long-standing
podcast.
long-standing
Huh?
social, long-standing social justice.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? I agree. I think we put a pin in this and we come back at maybe the 1 year mark and see what Mayor Mamdani has been actually able to apply and see what it looks like. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. So, folks, we are going to take a short break. Please let us know in the comments what you think. If you are familiar with what's going on in New York and how the mayor's doing, let us know in the comments.
Stop scrolling. This game may cause random singing, laughter, and arguments over who knows more songs. Introducing Hooks or Titles, the music card game where one word can unlock hundreds of songs. Perfect for family game nights, parties, barbecues, road trips, team building, music lovers. If you know someone who turns every conversation into a playlist, they need this game. Order now at hooksortitlescardgames.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, the other thing I really wanted to discuss was the fact that the SAVE Act was axed. And this is something that I have been kind of loosely paying attention to since it was proposed, right? Because I was curious about how it seemed like it mostly impacted women and women in more rural areas, for lack of a better way of saying it. So, just for those that may be listening that are not familiar with the SAVE Act, it's the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act. And it requires voters to provide documentary proof of citizenship at the time of registration and a photo ID at the time of voting. And it was actually of course, the House of Representatives passed it earlier this year, but of course, I think by the time I got to the Senate, they killed it. So, some of the issues, I think some of the concerns with this particular act was who would be disproportionately impacted, right? So it would be military members, natural disaster survivors who maybe don't have their hands on any of, legal documents because their house has been demolished, women, trans voters, and anyone with a changed name, rural voters, working class voters, voters of color, and older Americans, and lastly, tribal citizens. So that's a large segment of the population that potentially would have been impacted to their detriment had this act actually gone through.
Okay, so here's my question with that. Where it says women, and particularly those who were married, so their name changed.
Mm-hmm.
So if we've been registered for decades, that shouldn't make a difference.
Well, I mean, but that's just it. I think there was some question as to whether it was. And then there were people like, so, right, if you've been married and your name changed, then what do you got to bring proof from what, your birth certificate? Like it made no sense.
Good thing I have all of those things, including my social security card with my maiden name on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, I hyphenated my name. So I was like, okay, so I should be okay. Right. I mean, I wasn't thinking about this when I did it, but it was just that. And like I said, this is primarily why it kind of stayed on my radar, because it's like, this could be very detrimental to a large portion of the population. So I would love to be able to just kind of discuss this with you all.
Well, one of the problems with this is I don't think the orange businessman truly understand what you have to do to register to vote. Like, registering to vote is not an easy task. You still got to show those documents in order to register to vote. Like that's what you have to do. Point blank, period. So maybe he doesn't even care. Well, I ain't gonna say he don't know. He don't care.
Yeah.
Right? Because you just said the people who will be affected by this the most, they pull the stats and the data from the IRS, from all the government agencies, and said, okay, we got this data. Who would it affect most? I just want to bring up some other ones that we might have missed. Older Americans who may have lost documents or were born when record-keeping systems were less consistent.
Yeah.
Right? That's crazy. Younger voters registering for the first time who may not have passports. Like, they did these analysis, and now it's like, boom, let's go ahead and take out a whole section of it. But to me, I'm like, y'all willing to take that chance? Because rural residents are mostly Democrats. I mean, not Democrats, Republicans. Sorry, let me correct myself. Republicans. I live in a red rural area. It's like, you gonna hurt them the most. To me, because the people in the city got their stuff. The people in the city stay up with their documents. I mean, I'm gonna land my plane with that one, but that's where I'm at with it. But other than that, one more land. Let me take off one more time. The crazy thing is how it gets voted past one level and then the next level stop it. Like, well, okay, what y'all doing at the first level?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm done. Yeah, I'm landing there. I'm gonna land there.
I mean, but the other piece to that is, I mean, it's a multi-effort, right, from the Republicans, right, because then there's also the redistricting, right, that they have been.
Stop scrolling. This game may cause random singing, laughter, and arguments over who knows more songs. Introducing Hooks or Titles, the music card game where one word can unlock hundreds of songs. Perfect for family game nights, parties, barbecues, road trips, team building, music lovers. If you know someone who turns every conversation into a playlist, they need this game. Order now at hooksortitlescardgames.com.
Because that what was it Texas was trying to do? They were trying to do kind of an end run around it. Remember last year, and the Texas state Democrats left the state when they were it was time for them to vote on it.
Anyway, but yeah. So when Texas started doing their redistricting thing, that started an all-out thing, and I thought Newsom had settled it, but then what's my guy in Virginia? He did it correctly, and then Alabama did it illegally, and the Supreme Court said Alabama's was okay, but then Virginia's wasn't. Right. And I was like, whoa. And
Okay, so wait a minute. So what happened in North Carolina the year
I don't
before?
know.
When I asked you, did you? Okay, I
I
don't.
didn't
And this is, by
listen.
the
I
way,
only got
this is,
Alabama, Virginia,
but this
Texas,
is
and
why
California.
I was mentioning North Carolina because one of the Texas Democrats, I do not remember her name. I feel bad. I don't remember her name, but a black woman. She said, she was like, we are not going to be North Carolina. We saw what North Carolina tried to do the year before. So that's why I'm saying, so there was something that happened in 24 in North Carolina. I'm gonna have to go do the research. And then Texas was like, oh no, we see this play. So no, we're not gonna play. And then didn't California, they voted on it, right? They didn't do it. Okay, that's what I thought. Because I think
Okay. So rating the new North Carolina Republican gerrymandering. That's why. Yeah, 2024. They quickly are moving to redraw the state's already gerrymandered maps to give themselves a better chance of winning. So
Mhm.
even with gerrymandered maps already, they still got to redraw it because even the cheating ain't cheating no more. Like that's
basically,
crazy to me. That's
basically,
crazy. Okay, man,
All
we gotta
all
move
of
on.
politics is crazy.
yeah, it is. It is, unfortunately.
We
Unfortunately.
got, we got to get into what I would tell my 20-year-old self because not
We need to
Mhm.
wrap
just
this
talking
up.
about this. I got some other things that I would tell that person back then. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's go ahead and fast forward to that. Okay. Okay. All right. So last topic for tonight's episode. What would you tell your 20-year-old self about life? I didn't know we were doing costume changes.
I know, right?
Okay.
Jay, you go first because I need
Please.
to marinate on that for a bit.
Well, because I read the message that somebody sent.
Why he
Um,
his hat though?
my 20-year-old self. When people ask me this, because people ask, what would you tell your younger self in the army? What would you tell them to do? So I kind of stay ready to answer this because they always ask this. One is definitely to put away money. Did I really need to go to all the clubs I went to? Did I really need to buy all the clothes that I bought? Just young stuff because I grew up without. Um, I would definitely tell my younger self to be more into politics.
Mm,
I would definitely, and maybe to push my peers to be more in politics because I could have planted seeds in their
Mm.
heads, and then
yeah.
later on down the line, they make the decision for themselves. But since I went into politics, a lot of them went into politics. I don't even lie. I would just call my mom and say, "Who should I vote for?" And she'd
Yeah.
be like, "This person right here." And then that would be the end of the situation. But I was at that time trying to figure out my life. Family issues. Family issues. I don't even care about them now. And I shouldn't have cared about them back then. Okay. Because if I could have seen my future self, I'm like, okay. It was one I had wrote down. Hold on, I want to not the screw worm. Don't spend so much time trying to impress strangers. Spend
Mm,
more time building skills, making memories, and finding peace. I found myself trying
Mhm.
to impress strangers, and now I don't even care. Now I'm on peace. Peace. So if I could go back and tell myself, look for peace. Go outside and look at the sky. Go outside and feel the wind on your face. Go to the beach by yourself. Go to the movies by yourself.
mm.
Go eat by yourself. If there ain't nobody to go, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's the best, that's the most important relationship you're gonna have is one with yourself, right?
Yep.
How you treat yourself
It's how you can treat others. It's
and
how
how
you will
others
right.
treat
treat
others.
you,
Yep.
right? Based on how you treat yourself.
Yep.
All right, those are some good ones. Those are some
Yeah.
really good ones. All right, Kim Joe, what you got? Or I feel like we could pick back some of what Jay Frank said.
It for sure because peace was the number one thing. But
Mm,
at 20, I don't think that was at the top of my list, which hence why we're talking about this. So I think I would probably tell my 20-year-old self to not be so focused on attaching yourself to emotional or emotional things and people because they're fleeting.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Are you done? Hold on.
I'm not done.
What is that? Where is it at? Hold
You gotta
on.
let Kim Joe, Frank, anybody, Frank J. Frank.
Hold on. I didn't want to interrupt it when I did this. Say it one more time. Say it's fleeting. Please.
Fleeting. Fleeting.
Oh, that's
Yes.
the wrong thing. Say it one more time.
Fleeting.
I'm still learning this. It's GNV, baby. It's GNV. I mean GenX.
I would definitely tell my 20-year-old self that self is first. And it's not selfish to want to put yourself first. But because I grew up most of my life as a caregiver, assistant, a co-caregiver, it was hard for me to detach from that in my later life. I think I would tell myself to be more socially conscious because I wasn't.
Yeah.
And, I see it more where now being more socially conscious also ties into being more politically aware, which, I've just recently, I voted all my life when I could, but I could know more. I would tell my 59-year-old self that's same thing. And I think I would tell my 20-year-old self that love is an action word, not just words. And that goes across the board for people, for the love of God, for it's action.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Those are good. I feel like you should do a bow, Kim Jo. All right, so I'm going to definitely steal a little bit from each of you. I think one of the main things that stood out as I was thinking about this for myself is I think I would be comfortable with failure, right? Because at least it means I've tried. I think it's one thing to just kind of stay in a lane that's safe. And I think I lived a lot of my life that way. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I have a good life, so it's been to my benefit, but I think it has kept me playing small, particularly in my early 20s, where I feel like you can make mistakes and there's still hopefully time to kind of rebound from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think I would have been, I wish I would have been more politically and socially aware. I don't think I really started paying attention to what was happening politically, at least probably to the Obama years. And really more so, even more so in the last 6 or 7 years. So my late 40s to up to now. I think I would have invested. I wish I would have been someone who bought up some real estate at 20 or in my 20s.
Right.
Particularly where we look at like my grandmother's home that we ended up having to sell because when she got sick, we had to put her in a home. I wish I had been able to keep that home in the family. I think I would tell myself, my younger self, to be that time is fleeting, even though it doesn't feel like it at 20, and to be present and feel every feeling. Don't try to run from them or anesthetize yourself from them. Yeah. I think that's it for me. All right,
Thank you.
folks.
I was waiting for the applause.
Folks, this wraps up episode 2 of the Situations podcast. Please like, share, leave us comments, leave us some reviews. We greatly appreciate them. And you can expect the next episode to come out. We're doing bi-weekly, so and in 2 weeks. All right. Until next time,
Yeah, with
folks.
Gen X, it won't be exactly bi-weekly. It might be at the end of the week.
Already.
Because
Right.
we got jobs. We got jobs, so we want to bring y'all the real.
All right, folks. Take care.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Situations podcast. You know we're going to talk about it.